Hello everybody, this is Starman and welcome back to Let's Play Quest for Glory 5, Dragonfire, the Thief Path. Last time you remember, we paid our entry fee into the Rites of Rulership and we were just told to go to the Hall of Kings. And you'll note the gates are open, so now we can go in and begin the test of kingship.
You may enter the Hall of Kings now.
The king of Silmaria is dead, and the kingdom mourns his loss. We are gathered here to determine the future of this land through rites of ancient ritual and tradition. By the rites of rulership, heroes will prove their worth. By the rites of rulership, Silmaria will arise from the ashes of mourning, like the phoenix rises to the sun. By the rites of rulership, a new king will ascend to the throne of this land. Who here is worthy to compete in the rites of rulership?
God, a shining example of the triumph of science over superstition, is more than worthy to lead Silmaria to a rational, logical future.
Gort has been named as a contender. Who else is worthy to compete in the rites of rulership?
Elsa von Spielberg has proven herself to be a leader and a hero in the lands to the north. She is quite capable of becoming the first woman king of Silmaria as well. I, Minos, counselor to Silmaria, am proud to sponsor her.
Elsa von Spielberg has been named as a contender. Who else is worthy to compete in the rites of rulership?
I, magnum opus of the homeland of Romulus and Remus, leader of armies, peerless in the weapons of war, fierce, fearless and fearsome in battle, shall win the rites of rulership and become king of this kingdom.
Magnum opus has been named as a contender. Who else is worthy to compete in the rites of rulership?
I am Kokino Pukamiso. I have been a guard in the protection of Silmaria for years. I am one of the people of this land, and I am proud to aid my kingdom and my homeland.
Kokino Pukamiso has been named as a contender. Who else is worthy to compete in the rites of rulership?
The Prince of Shapir, hero of Tarna and Mordavia, is worthy to compete in the rites to become king of this land.
The Prince of Shapir has been named as a contender. By the ancient traditions of this land, 5 heroes shall compete in this challenge. 5 heroes shall make this land stronger. 1 hero shall rise to the throne of Silmaria. The rites of rulership shall begin. The first rite is the rite of freedom. The fishing villages of our kingdom and the island of Marit have been invaded by Hesperian mercenaries. Eos, Keros, Paros, Tinos, and Naxos have been overwhelmed. The invaders need to be driven from this land.
I shall free Paros, for it is the village in which I was born.
God shall choose Keros, for it is closest to the Academy of Science.
Elsa shall choose Eos, for it is closest to my island.
Thank you, Minos, for making my choice for me.
Forgive me, Elsa, but I only wish to assure your success. Eos is still the best choice.
It matters not which village I shall release from the yoke of oppression, but Tinos shall be avenged by magnum opus.
By process of elimination, you realize you get to free the village of Naxos.
5 shall go forth from the gates of Silmaria. 5 shall bring freedom to the fishing villages and return to the gates of the Hall of Kings with the sigils of those villages. 5 shall begin the rite of rulership. The first person who returns with the sigil of their freed village shall be deemed the winner. Let the rite of freedom begin.
You are escorted by guards through the corridors of the Hall of Kings and eventually led out of the gate. Okay, so we do have a bit of a time limit on this particular trial. Actually, there are time limits on most of the trials, but this one is probably the most urgent because we do have the greatest number of competitors to deal with, and what is, from our skill set, the biggest challenge. Remember how I said that this game was heavily tilted in favor of content for the fighters? Well, strictly speaking, you can sneak your way through the villages as a thief, but it's much faster to just fight your way through, since you kind of have to wind up fighting your way through it anyway. But thankfully, we do have enough time to walk around and visit people a bit. And it is in fact vitally important that you do go talk to people after each of the trials, because you do get some unique conversation options during each of the trials, and some of the information you get is helpful, and some of it is not, but it's still worth seeking out. In fact, there's one conversation we're going to seek out right away, but we're going to have to rush because we have to do it before noon. So first thing, we're going to run to the right and talk to Rakesh, because he is almost always immediately out here on his favorite sunning rock.
Good day. The first of the quests begins, and I can see you are eager for information. How may I aid you?
Oh, say hello.
You look ready and eager to face this rite. Do not let your courage override your cunning. Think before you fight. I am eager and anxious about this rite of freedom. It is a difficult and dangerous quest. The 5 of you who pursue this rite are worthy individuals, but I do not believe you will all succeed at your mission. It is always difficult for me to send others to do a job that I would rather do myself. However, my fighting days are mostly over. This rite of freedom will require you to face a small army. Prepare yourself for battle, but avoid it if you can. You are but one person.
Yeah, and
The Hesperian mercenaries are hired soldiers. They train all their lives for war. They are disciplined and take their time in battle. They fight with sword and shield and are skilled archers. Do not underestimate their abilities. They will show no mercy.
So, yeah, actually good advice, because, again, even though we can load ourselves down with healing potions and vitality potions and hack our way through the fight, we're still a thief. It's not really our bag.
Naxos is a fishing village to the west of Silmaria. Follow the road which leads south from the crossroads. All of the fisherfolk who lived there fled when the invaders arrived. Thus, you will find only enemies within the village.
And in point of fact, Naxos is to the southeast of Silmaria, but we'll see that on the map.
Good luck, and be careful, my friend. I shall eagerly await your success.
Because we actually can look at our map, and as you can see, Naxos is here on the southeastmost corner. Kyros is here on the eastmost corner. Eos is there on the north point, close to the Minos Island. And then we got Tinos and Paros here in the southwest. Now, getting to Naxos is not difficult. It's a short walk. But because we are a hero, we're not just going to stop at freeing our village. No, in point of fact, it is expected that you free all of the villages, because a true hero would not, be content to let a single bit of his kingdom remain free just because it's not my job. So we can, and in fact will, rescue the other villages first, thus preventing our competitors from winning because, hey, we have their sigil. But first thing we're going to do is talk to Andre, the fisherman.
Greetings! So you are competing to become king of Silmaria in the rulership rites. It will be good to have the fishing villages free from the mercenaries. I hope you are all successful. I have never spoken with a hero like you before. I am honored. I do not think I would like to be a king. If I could, I would become a great healer and make everyone well and happy. That is a much better job than giving everyone orders, at least to me.
And this is the only time that Andre will mention this secret desire of his.
Every time I travel near the small islands in the daytime, I am attacked by a boat of the mercenaries who shoot at me. I do not have many places I can fish right now. The fishing villages are now too dangerous to sail too close. The mercenaries shoot arrows at my boat. However, they are only a day's travel from here by land. To go to Naxos, go west and take the road to the south.
Okay, we'll go west then south.
The fishing villages are now too dangerous to sail too close. Good luck. I hope you drive the mercenaries far from our shores.
Anyway, once Andre tells us that he has this yen to become a healer, we can take a quick run over to the apothecary. And go and pick some more flowers while we're here.
Good to see you again.
Whoop. You can talk to Julinar. We now have an option to talk to her about Andre.
This friend of yours may be just the student I've been hoping to find. If he is truly serious about this, then I shall be delighted to teach him what I know of medicine and the art of healing.
And with that done,
I'd really like to be able to sell stuff. I couldn't even buy the ingredients to make more. Sure, that'll work.
we're going to stock up on healing because we're about to need it. And with that done, we run back to see Andre before noon because he sails off at noon, which is kind of late for a fisherman to start working, but when you're the only game in town, you can afford to rest a bit.
I am to be a healer. I have been spoken to by Julinar. She said that you told her of my dream. I thank you so much, my friend. Yasas, my friend. You are a real hero to me. I am so thrilled. I am to study with Julinar in the spring. I cannot thank you enough for this. I would not have dared to speak with the healer. Julinar is a wonderful woman. She told me what I need to learn before I become her apprentice. I will be studying very hard before I go to learn from her. It is so much better than fishing. I am a fisherman because my father and grandfather were fishermen. I will become a healer because I want to become one. It is good to know that dreams can come true, if you work to make it so.
Dreams can come true. It can happen to you.
Thank you again. It may not seem like much to you, but for me it is a great kindness.
And it isn't much. We don't get XP, we don't get puzzle points, but we do get an honor boost from it. But more importantly, we also will get a little bit more help from Andre in the future for this act of kindness. But as long as we're here, we can go ahead and talk to Follis.
You need some new weapons?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I've been working overtime to make extra weapons. I figure when the mercenaries attack Silmaria directly, we'll need every weapon we can get. Well, seeing that you are going for the gold by entering the rites, I guess I could let you buy some of the good stuff. If you got the money. You've got a tough one with that assignment. Outnumbered, outgunned. And the mercenaries have had a chance to learn the lay of the land. They're good little soldiers, those guys. Not a lot of imagination, but they know their weapons. Don't give up easily, either. Keep your weapons sharp.
And in fact, if we check Follis's inventory, we see that he does indeed have magic helmet, magic chainmail, and magic leather armor for sale, as well as some fancy new weapons like the Slasher Dagger. The Slasher Dagger is swift and deadly. It pulses in your hand like the arterial blood it longs to drink. And now you see why we have been gambling and building up our coffers.
It's worth a lot more than you're offering. Pay me this. You're sure cheap. I'm not taking less than this for it. You're sure cheap. I'm not taking less than this for it. We got a deal.
Got it for about 1/3 the price. And we also want to get this one, the Ice Diamond Sword. Lightweight and very maneuverable. It is also cold of a touch and as sharp as your breath on a winter's morning.
It's worth a lot more than you're offering. Pay me this. You're sure cheap. I'm not taking less than this for it. You're sure cheap. I'm not taking less than this for it. We got a deal.
And finally, the Dragon Slayer Sword. This Dragon Slayer Sword looks deadly sharp and gleams with magic. The touch of its hilt is chilling as if the weapon itself yearns for battle and the taste of blood.
It's worth a lot more than you're offering. Pay me this. You're sure cheap. I'm not taking less than this for it. You're sure cheap. I'm not taking less than this for it. We got a deal.
And we still have 5,000 gold after that, and now have the best weapons in the game. There's also the Wormbane Spear, but we should be fine with all that. And I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't we, as a squishy thief, be investing more in armor than weapons? Well, you would be right, but there's a reason why I'm not investing in the armor. We don't need to. And you'll see why shortly, but with that done, let's go ahead and talk to everybody else in the
Good day
market.
To you. There is talk that you might be the next king of Silmaria. That is good news indeed.
I'm glad to see somebody think so.
How is it that I might serve you today? I am well and hope that you are also. The pepperonis are particularly appetizing today. Their perfume tickles my whiskers and tempts me to try some myself. Sarah and I used to gather shells on the beach near the village of Naxos to the west of Silmaria. Then the invaders took over the fishing villages, and it is too dangerous to travel outside the city gates. There are nasty rumors that Magnum Opus is really a spy for the invading army. I do not believe such things, but you should be wary of that man. Farewell, and I wish you good fortune on the rulership rights.
I know I'm thinking of it. Yeah, I'm stocked on heroes. And we can come by the magic shop and talk to Chakra.
I enjoyed watching the opening ceremony for the Rite of Rulership. It seems that you will have tough competition for the throne. Besides the assassinations and the invasion, we also seem to be at war with the Sea People. If there is someone behind all this, I do not know his purpose. You would make a fine king, you know. You remind me of my father. Rakish would have been a great king for Tarna, but he chose the way of the paladin instead. Thus, he can aid people everywhere, rather than in just his own kingdom. If you have not done so, I suggest you buy a map of Silmaria from Wolfie in the bazaar outside. The fishing villages should be marked on the map.
Bit of advice if you have not done that already.
I would suggest you watch the other competitors in the Rite of Rulership carefully. It is possible that one of them is behind Silmaria's problems.
Foreshadowing.
Good luck upon your right.
And I don't think we get anything from Sam the banker. But we'll go ahead and check.
Hey there! How's the next king of Silmaria doing? Got some more money to invest, I hope?
Actually, I've just got 50 drachmas on my person. And yeah, nothing new, but I don't actually need to have the money on me. We can talk to Sarah.
Greetings, O finder of lost things. I am most pleased to have back my basket. Welcome, my friend. Thank you yet again for the return of my basket. I am most fine, and very pleased to have back my basket. You are a true hero, to risk so much for such a little thing.
Now.
It is said that there is an assassin that stalks the city by night, and no one is safe. It is most fortunate for Silmaria that you are now here to stop this murderer, hero friend. It is so good to have my basket back. I thought I would never see it again. Farewell, and 1,000 thanks go with you.
And we can get a little bit more out of Wolfie.
Namaste, and may you be having a pleasant day.
You can ask about the invaders.
I have heard that the fishing villages were taken over by the paid soldiers from another land. There is a village called Noxus to the southwest of town where this is truly so. You cannot get there now, though, for there are some invaders who try to kill you if you attempt this. Oh, that is very pleasant news indeed. It will be good to have you as king here. I do not know many kings that have bought things from my stand after all. Be very careful. I would not like to read any bad news about you on the notice board. Good day.
And I don't think we get anything special out of Erasmus for this particular rite, but I did test this earlier and determined that there is one conversation with Erasmus that we did not get earlier. And in point of fact, I'm not sure if this one is possible to load before you start the rites or not, but it's new to us, so we'll go ahead and do it. Even though, as I noted before, strictly speaking, thieves don't need to talk to Erasmus.
The wizard is expected.
Except for the jokes once we get past the introduction. Swim straight ahead.
Welcome, welcome. Have a seat while I put away the viewing screen. I used to use crystal balls, but with the big screen, the reception is better.
What's seen on the screen is more clear than the sphere.
I trust you've been taking care of yourself since I last saw you. Have you been eating healthy fruits and vegetables on your adventures?
Yeah, you need strong bones and healthy muscles when you get eaten by monsters. More nutritious that way.
After you and Baba Yaga left Spielberg, it started getting a bit dull there. I puttered around for a while, then decided to come down here to Silmaria for the winter.
The infestation of several thousand baby Antwerps had nothing to do with it, I'm sure.
Fenris has been acting a bit strange lately. I think it's something to do with those rabid types.
So I tend to foam at the mouth a little.
Silmaria is a fascinating place. Fenris and I were just looking over some of the beautiful scenery.
He was paying particularly close attention to this one redhead.
Well, I can't blame him for that.
All right. If an ogre and a goon jumped off the cliff at the same time, who would land first?
The ogre? Because he's here today and goon tomorrow?
No, the ogre. Because the goon would have to stop and ask directions. So, you're off again, are you?
No kidding.
And we can talk to Fenris this time.
The screen is keen. You can spy unseen. We could see you were on your way here. Horrors! I, president of Rabbit, just found out that people are eating us rodents.
Fenris, I don't think anyone around here would even consider eating your species.
I found them listed on a menu. Ratatouille and chocolate mouse.
That's chocolate mousse.
Oh, that's all right then. Moose are dangerous. Erasmus likes to watch what's going on in Silmaria.
I always like to keep abreast of what's going on.
Or coming off. We'll be seeing you.
Alright, so nothing story important, but amusing. slightly faster than walking back from Nob Hill.
What's cooking good?
And nothing new from Anne about the rites. And I think this is the only one where the famous adventurer has nothing helpful to say to you. But we can swing by the guild hall and check in with Toro.
Hero Man and Elsa try be king, not let Magnum Man be king. Magnum Man only talk big. See you, Hall of Kings. Hero Man look good with Elsa. Toro like Silmaria. Want Elsa win. Elsa be good king. Elsa not like lose. Elsa lose. Elsa go. Toro go too. Toro miss Silmaria. Fishing village not far. Hero Man good. Drive away invaders. Beat Magnum Man. Fishing guild quiet. Magnum Man busy with right. Good luck, Hero Man.
But just to make sure...
Good to see you again. Good to see you, lad.
Yep.
Keep on adventuring.
Same as before. And I don't recall if there's any new conversations on Science Island, but we don't need to go there, so we won't. We're coming up on the half-hour mark, but I think I can just manage to get one of the villages liberated. So I'm going to gear up for adventure. Grab my leather armor, and we're going to go ahead and use the Dragon Slayer sword, which is the best sword in the game. And yes, once upon a time, the thief would not have been able to use a sword, but now I can, so, mwah. Anyway, the furthest village is pretty much a straight shot west. Now, in theory, you're supposed to be able to sneak into all of the villages, but owing to where the guards in this one are, there's really no way to get around to where you can blackjack them, so we're just gonna fight them. Yeah, even though I'm sneaking, they have not noticed I'm here. Yeah, with the Dragon Slayer sword, the basic mercenaries go down with 2 or 3 hits, if you have your stats maxed out. Now the trick with the challenges here is that the leaders of the mercenaries are almost always hidden in a red-roofed building. But as with all the combats, the enemies will only attack you 1 at a time, or 2 at a time. But we can fight as many of these guys as we want, or as few as we want. And I think they will respawn forever, which makes this an effective way to boost your defense if you really want to go all out on boosting your defense, because these guys don't do much damage. Oh, we got a sword on that one. Okay, let's just go for the... force the door open. And the enemies in the headquarters are a bit more durable. Yeah, you can see it's taking 5 or 6 hits with this to beat these guys. And let's get away from the door, because the one fortunate thing is if you click on the door, you'll exit and go out. And the enemies go away if you leave the room. Anyway, each of the headquarters will have a chest of some type, full with 500 drachmas, the sigil, and magic leather armor. As you close the chest, you can barely hear the sound of the remaining invaders evacuating this vicinity. Because the mercenaries have a sense of fair play, and the minute you grab their flag, oh, well, it's over, we're leaving. Anyway, by having taken the sigil for this town, which is not Naxos, that is one competitor who cannot beat us to the punch on winning the trials. And most importantly, we now have the fancy leather armor without having to pay for it. We are also completely overburdened at this point, so this would be a good time to go and sell this off. But I'm going to go ahead and close this chapter out here, and next time we will continue the liberation of the fishing villages. See you then.